Try ko mag-live with Facebook and All right, guys, we are live. This is your live daily fantasy quickie. My name is JJT with Kamish Eric. Kamish, big day today in the NBA. Big day not in terms of the games, but big day in terms of the news, I guess.
Yeah, lots of news today. Different kinds, all sorts. Injuries to criminal law to history and social situations to
So
race
as we are,
to race
yeah,
problems, everything.
yeah, and that somehow overwhelmed or at least um, made us kind of overlooked on what happened during the games, which we had good games today. I mean, the first game was a very close game between the Warriors and the Magic, and then the second one was between Denver and OKC, which was kind of close as well. So, but I think the biggest question today, let's talk about the biggest question now. That's Kyrie. Kyrie Irving, so he was suspended, right? So we have a few listeners or followers already on the stream watching this. We've got someone watching from New York, Hugh Kong Tan. Let's just go some do some shout out. JD, Nico Caranto, uh, Corinne, Cornix, JD, lots of drama. Hui Kong Tan, Christian Lawrence Santos. I think these are mostly the YouTube and Facebook viewers. All right, so the biggest news today. Well, we have two news. Let's start with the not the biggest, the one that was overshadowed by the Kyrie news. The James Harden news out for 1 month. That's a big blow for James Harden owners. Um, yeah, what can you say? James Harden. No, Embiid is a bit hurt. Harden is a bit hurt. So it's Tyrese
No,
Maxey's turn.
yes, Harden's not a bit hurt. Harden's really hurt. Uh,
Yeah,
and it's bad because he has had although he has had some bad games here and there, bad shooting days. Overall, the assists are good, the rebounds are there, scoring so, but still not bad. So everything is going trending up for him. This is age, I think, partly also. The past few years, he hasn't really been sign of health. So yeah, this is bad situation for his owners because a month is the minimum, I think, for James Harden.
so
But yeah,
it's
Tyrese
looking like
Maxey definitely is a big boost.
6 to 8 weeks type of thing, right? That's the worst case scenario for James Harden.
Hopefully it's not, but I don't think it will be 8 weeks. Maybe some a little more than a month. It's possible, but hopefully it's not. It's not 8 weeks.
Yeah, but yeah. So James Harden, that's the first news that came out today. That
Yeah,
was big.
they have to make sure that the Anthony Melton. I think Maxi is a given. No, I know he's gonna get a boost, but the Anthony Melton, I'm hoping against hope that this would really get him going. He should be starting, and easily I could see him get to the 1 point something steals, around 2 3 pointers a game if he takes over from Harden. So I like Melton a lot, no. And then if you're really of course I'm Melton and Maxi and Embiid and Tobias are probably taken. No? If you just wanna gamble, maybe somebody like Daniel House, I think
Tyball.
he might get a well. No, I don't think Tyball is worth grabbing. if you're in 20 team leagues or 18 team leagues or even 16 team leagues, you want to try to see if Daniel House gets 25 minutes maybe. He's a guy who has been able to show that he can play, when he's given the time. He has shown that he can produce in fantasy. So someone just stream and then see if it sticks.
All right.
There.
So here's the thing. So I would like to jump from this comment by Hui Kong Tan. He has Harden, and you feel sad seeing the news. So now the biggest question is, if you have Harden, of course, obviously you won't drop him, right? You'll put him in your IL. He's your top IL guy, right? How
Yep.
do you move on from here? Let's say the other players we talked about pretty much were already rostered, right? Milton's, the Embiid's, of course, right? Those guys, they're pretty much rostered already, so you probably wouldn't be able to get them. And the other guys that you mentioned could just be streamers. There could be better options there than them. What's the next step? How do you win the next few weeks without Harden?
It's hard because we really don't
Do you
know.
trade Harden?
Um, well, if you can't really survive, you can trade, but I won't trade for too low a value, because if you get someone, let's say a third or fourth round player, in return, you might be able to compete, but I don't think you can win the championship if you lose your first rounder and replace it with a third or fourth rounder. On the other hand, if you can survive maybe this 4 weeks without Harden, when he comes back, then you still have your first rounder for the time that you need it really when it's a playoff time. So I won't trade him for nothing. But you have to look at your lineup. You have to check your lineup. I have Harden in our league. I have Harden. It's big blow to my team because I also have Rozier there. So I'm down
Mhm.
Rozier. I'm down Harden. So my team's depleted again for the second straight year. I'm not panicking. I'm just checking what will happen. I have no choice. It's there, and there's not much in the waiver wires. But I'll try to look for point guards in the waiver wire to try to help me.
Yeah. So I think the crucial here, if you're in a head-to-head league, right? Other than you know um, seeing what your other seeing your streaming should be on point pretty much almost every week. That's one. And then you can test now your how strong your lineup is. I mean, losing your first rounder is a big blow, but it's not the end of the world, right? We are just in what, week 3, week 4, week 3,
Week three,
right? We're
week
just in
three.
week 3, and this is a long way to go, right? This is a long way to go. I know 4 weeks is kind of long for a hardened injury, but again, you can test your lineup to see how strong your team is, how good your team is without your first rounder. Because some teams survive without first rounder, because some maybe they have SGA maybe on their team, right? Or someone who has
Yes,
emerged as a new first rounder other than
yes.
Harden, right? That means
That
you can survive 4 weeks.
yes, and if you don't have those players, what you can do maybe is like to trade some of your other players to get a point guard. Okay, you have to, because if you had Harden, your strengths should be assists, 3 pointers, free throws. So if you can get, maybe trade some players who may not be as fit to your strategy, or maybe a big who's not that fit to your strategy, you can get a point guard. Then that would help you at least stay competitive in those categories you're supposedly strong, which is the categories Harden is strong in. So you'll be able to compete in those. Maybe you'll lose the blocks already, you'll lose those other stats because you gave up something, of course. But important thing is this: the certain categories you should be strong at. You continue to be strong even if Harden is out. That's what you try.
Okay, so I will disagree with you, Wikong. There will be buyers for Harden. It's just a matter of asking which players they would you would ask for, or which players would they be willing to give for
Yeah.
Harden. How high, how low? Um, Is it a first rounder, a second rounder, third rounder? Like Komish said, if it's a third rounder, that might be, uh, if it's a second rounder, you might, you can consider it a second rounder and maybe a lower end player. So yeah, there will be buyers for Harden. Um, Here, JD said Harden for Lamelo straight up. I don't think the Lamelo owner would buy it there because Lamelo is already at the tail end of his injury, right? And Harden is just starting, so it might be Harden plus one for Lamelo already at this point.
Yeah, at this point, that would I won't do the Lamelo Harden deal if I'm the Lamelo owner. But if
Yeah,
there is an offer for you for that, I will take it. Lamelo at this point, if he comes back, is basically like Harden. Scoring is kind of low. He'll get some threes, rebounds, assists is good. So it's basically Harden. Lamelo is basically like Harden. The
all
percentages
right,
are not that good. So if you can do that, yeah, go do it.
yeah. Now let's talk about Kyrie. Let's talk about the biggest news today, Kyrie. So just to recap, I'm sure you know what happened already. The Nets suspended Kyrie a minimum of 5 games, depending on some actions that he would take. They didn't detail out what actions were those. And a few hours after Kyrie posted his apology, I don't know if that would suffice. I don't know if that was part of the action. We still haven't really heard from the Nets about that apology. I don't know if people involved or people who were offended were gonna accept that apology. But at least there's that, right? There's that. Now, at least the chances of him being reinstated, being put back in the team would be higher than, say, no apology at all. So what do you do now if you're a Kyrie owner?
Uh well, pray. Pray
First
hard.
of
But
all, I don't think this should come as a surprise. If you're the Kyrie owner, this should not
yeah,
come as a surprise.
as I said, every year there is something different with Kyrie. There was one year where it was his birthday, there was a party, like he's out for a week, something like
But this is
that. And
probably the worst,
this is the worst. I mean, the worst
or
because
maybe close to last year.
outside of basketball, this is a real issue. So yes, this is the worst. Basketball wise, 5 games is almost like 1.5 weeks, so it's almost the same. Now, of course, there is speculation that he can be not reinstated anymore. That's possible, but the apology is good because at least that means Kyrie wants to play. Because some people are saying, what if Kyrie just decides not to come back to the Nets? He says that I don't want to play anymore, which is I know is possible. But if that is the case, he would not have apologized. I think, just my take.
Yeah,
Kyrie apologizing right away after being suspended means that he values it's important for him to play. As I said, there's still this essence of, hey, it's a contract year. Let me play. So I think it's 5 games. I think it might just be 5 games. I think the apology is enough, in my opinion. You can't do anything else. I mean, you could put him in a seminar or something that can happen without suspending him. So the apology is more to show other people, for people, the media, the Jews, and and everybody else that he's really remorseful. So I think that's enough.
yeah.
If you're owner of Kyrie,
If
that's good.
Yeah, I think that's the best you could ask for at this point. At least he apologized already. So now what to do? There's a question here about Kyrie. Should I trade Kyrie for Jarrett Allen? How low ball should I go for my Kyrie? I think at this point you have to wait. 5 games is probably around 2 weeks.
But Jarrett Allen is actually an okay trade for me. I know Kyrie could be a first rounder per game and everything. This is just one issue that can happen with Kyrie. If he comes back after 5 games, we don't know what's the next thing that may happen.
True.
Plus the fact that this is not even an injury related thing. Kyrie is known to have injuries here and there also. So if you can get Jarrett Allen, that's okay for me. Just move on. Jarrett Allen, top 40, I think, ceiling is there. Is basically a durable player, so I'm fine with it. It's a center. It's a hard position to find. If you can get Kyrie for Jared Allen, I'll be okay. How low ball? Don't set your own low ball standards. I think if you can get top 50 value, I would do it. But as JJT said, you can wait for 5 games. I think he'll come back after 5 games. And if he comes back
Yeah,
after
the
five
value
games, I
moves
think
up a bit if after that 5 games. At least you can tell the other owner that he's playing already, and when he's playing, he's good. We all know that when he's playing, he's good. That's why this is such a waste if he doesn't finish the season or gets suspended for the whole season because of this, because he is not like the other people that I know there have been names that have been floating around that were suspended. Myers Leonard was one, right? Those guys are nowhere close to the talent of Kyrie. So this is a big deal for fantasy because this guy can produce and can help your team as well. And so yeah, I think for me, I think one or two Kyries. I'll just wait it out and see what happens there.
if he
But
didn't apologize, I won't tell
that's
you to
that's
wait
the
it out.
bigger problem.
That's a bigger problem. But the fact that he apologized, given the statement of the Nets why they suspended him, the apology for me is enough. And that's enough for the Nets. To begin with, I don't think the Nets wanted to suspend him, but he just made it too hard for them not to. So that's a big difference. If he's playing for a team that's very culture oriented, like we don't tolerate those things, he would have been suspended way earlier. So I think that's a big difference. The culture of the Nets, or the lack of culture in the Nets, actually.
Yeah. All right. So now let's move past Kyrie. I think we've talked about. Unless you have some questions, you can just throw it out there. We'll post the questions now for your questions. This SGA is the SGA performance so far sustainable?
Yeah.
Chances that he reaches the playoffs. I think last year SGA played 56 games. It was not 70 games.
Last year, I
I
think
think
it
we
was 7.
mentioned no, I rechecked. I think 2019 was the
Ah,
year
okay,
that he
okay.
had 70 games. So just to an erratum from the previous quickies that we've had, SGA played 56 games. It's still a lot, not bad. I mean, he missed what, 16 games, 26 games.
Yeah, 26 games. He missed 26 games. But he played during the time that you needed him. I
Yeah,
know
the
he
tail
was there
end.
during I know he was there in the playoffs. He missed part in the middle of the season, but he came back. So first part of the question, is he sustainable? I think he's number 6 this year. I While he's good, I think he might drop a little from number 6 or number 1,
Yeah,
because he was number 1, number 2. Because you have to remember, we have small sample sizes yet as of this moment. So every game, you go up and down faster. I think he'll
yeah.
settle there at maybe 8, 9, or 10 first round per game. So yeah, it's technically not sustainable to be number 1 or number 2, but I think top 10, top 12 first round, that's
That's the best
sustainable.
case.
Yeah, if you watch him play, you'll know why it's sustainable. The team
He's good.
revolves around him.
He's good.
The usage rate is so high. He can shoot, he can drive, he can do a lot of things. He's long, he can steal the ball. His steal rate is very high in his career. It's 2 point something.
Yeah,
Around 2. So all of those are sustainable. But the chances that he will be sat on the playoffs, of course. I
still
mean,
higher. Still higher.
it's high. Yeah,
It's high.
it's
It's high.
high.
Yeah, if you can trade him, if you can't trade him, then don't force the issue. Don't you know accept a low ball offer just so you get a player for the playoffs. No, I think you get a if you see something you like, then that's the only time you pull the trigger. Otherwise, just ride the wave. We don't know
You
what's
can
gonna happen, a few
And I
months
told
from now.
Jeremy in our quickie, I told Jeremy in our quickie that if you want to trade him, okay, fine, but don't you don't have like only one day to trade him or one week to trade him. You still have a long time to trade him. If your worry is the playoffs, it's still a long time. The value might not be as high as now, though. So you have to be
Yeah.
aggressive in a sense that you talk to a lot of managers and see what are the possible offers right now. Because if the offers are poor right now, it will be poorer when he struggles a little bit, when his numbers fall down a little bit. So then, by that time, at this point, you would already know that, hey, these are the offers. I might just stick with him.
Yeah. All right. The next one, Jabari Smith, who has been struggling, and I think the worst game was just a couple of days ago. Or Franz Wagner. I know you're high on Jabari. I'm not as high anymore on Jabari. I just feel like the usage wouldn't be as good with Jalen
I
and Kevin
was
Porter there and Sengun.
I was uh, high on Jabari during the draft season. And I would say I'm very disappointed. I've talked to a lot of managers who are talking about we talk about him, and yeah, they're not that happy. Also, I really didn't expect the field goal to be this bad. The problem, as I told JJT, the steal rate is not there. Point 0.3, I think, for the season. Point 0.2, point 0.3. That's very low. Now the other numbers, rebounds and blocks, those are his other strengths. Okay, I mean that it's there. That's fine, but do I trust that his shots will fall eventually? A little better, I guess, but I don't know if it's gonna be 48% shooting. Maybe if it gets to 42, 43, that's already good. So the ceiling is lower now because I think he's obviously not yet that ready body wise. So Franz Wagner is also struggling. I was also high on
Yeah.
Franz Wagner to start in the
Me
draft
too.
season, and he's also struggling. So
But not as
actually, I would,
bad as Jabari because
yeah,
France had some okay games here and there from time to time.
not as bad as Jabari. The problem with France is really the steals, the stocks. There's really none there for him so far. We hope it improves. We hope it improves. I still like France, right? I like France right now over Jabari, but yeah, I'll probably choose France Wagner over Jabari Smith.
But I've seen on Twitter, I've seen some tweets about or some people asking to other analysts if they're gonna drop Jabari. Um, I don't think you do unless it's a way better or a surer option, a more sure player.
Jabari is a good player. He's talented. He can defend. Um, there are just rookies like Paolo Banquero who's just ready, who's just more ready. It doesn't mean
Yeah,
he's gonna have a better career overall, but he's just more ready. The body, the everything, the game translates easier to the NBA. Jabari, the body type doesn't translate well, and the team that he is in right now, Jalen and KPJ, just takes up all the usage. What even if he wants to take 20 shots, it's not gonna be there for him. He's just a spot up shooter
add
right now in offense,
add
right?
Sengun to
So
the mix, who's
and
getting more
Sengun,
usage,
yes,
right?
and Sengun to the mix, and the fact that they still have Eric Gordon, they still have a lot of players in the forward spots also. So it's not like Banquero situation in Orlando where he's the top dog right away. That's the problem with Jabari. So but Jabari is talented. He's the number 3 pick for not for just for luck factor. He's really good. Remember last year Jalen Green struggled so badly, then exploded, right? So
Yeah.
by the time January comes around, I think you'll see him play much better. So right now, the question is, can you take the poor free field goal? That's the question. If you can't take it, not drop, try trade him. I'm sure there will be managers who would take him, would take
Yeah.
Jabari.
All right. The other news today is Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges pleaded no guilty. No. What did he plead? No
No, no guilty and
contest. No,
no
no
contest. No.
contest. No contest. He pleaded no contest. I've read that's what that means is that he does not admit that he's guilty, nor does he say that he is not guilty. So it's like a neutral take. And this would mean no jail time for him, but probation time. How do you see Miles' NBA future? I don't think he'll be able to get a team this year. That's just me.
Never say never in the NBA. People have done worse, and although this is really bad, and return, he can return. He's very talented. He's still young. So a lot of there's gonna be a lot of desperate teams. The question is, not NBA future is still there. He's gonna play. He's gonna be back in the NBA.
Yeah,
I think. But for the season, no, for fantasy, I have my doubts that he'll be back this year because someone signs him, the NBA has to suspend him first. We don't know how long the NBA gonna suspend him. 30 games, 40 games, or even longer. So that might be the problem. That might be the problem with Miles Bridges' situation. So I'm not going out of the way to add him because he doesn't have IL plus eligibility. He doesn't have
yeah.
IL
That's another
eligibility
thing.
as far as I know, he doesn't have them. So no, while he is very talented and a good fantasy player, I doubt he plays 30 games this year. I may be wrong, but I think the NBA is not suspending him yet because he's not a player in the NBA. So there's no team that has signed him yet. So let's wait
Yeah,
for a team to sign him, and then I'm sure the NBA will suspend him.
yeah. JD Shake Milton has suggested for deeper Ds. I think we talked about that. He
Yeah,
also said that Melton could burn your field goal. Yeah, there will be days, but I think
there will be
overall
days,
but he's not a volume scorer. So um,
but finding assists, steals, and threes, uh, that's a hard combo to find. And the problem with
yeah,
Melton's always been number one usage. No, when Harden was there, it was just standing around, running around, no, not getting much. So number two is the minutes coming off the bench. Both of those will rise with Harden out. Shake Milton, by the way, is also okay, but Milton, low ceiling kind of a point guard. But in deep leagues, you could consider that also. We can try and see if he gets hot or get some minutes.
yeah. So Nico Caranto
That's a
got
good.
Milton and Milton after losing, so that you won't be confused who the right person is. You get both the Miltons. Uh, Next question. Paul Dudlao, 20 team. Trade my Yanis and Butler for Booker, Fox, Beal, and France.
Wow.
That's a lot of
20
all.
Booker, Fox, Beal, and France. In 20 team leagues though, depth is very important. Depth is
Yeah.
very important. So Yanis to Booker.
What are
That's a
you trying to
very
do here? You're boosting your scoring, right? Because that's all you pretty much get here is scoring and
scoring. Yeah,
very little
scoring
of
three
everything else.
pointers, scoring assists, 3 points. I think will get boost. Free throw, although Fox is so, but free throws will also improve. So plus the fact that you get rid of Jimmy Butler, that itself is a win. So I think you can. I think you can negotiate for more. I just feel like you can do more. Maybe because that's
Not
Butler.
more players,
Better
just change
players.
some better players, right?
I'll
Better
change
options.
France. I'll change France. Maybe I don't know who the other players are there, but maybe a higher ranked player
Yeah,
is okay. Yeah. 20 team. In 20 team I'll consider this. But in shallower leagues, no.
yeah.
No way.
Uh, Another question from Paul is DSJ Dennis Smith Jr. Is he
Yeah,
worth
sure.
trading?
Great.
Boom.
We
Which player
we
do
talked
you
about
have in
this.
mind for Dennis Smith Jr.?
It's hard. I don't because if I'm the manager who's being offered Dennis Smith Jr., I would not really pick him
You-
up for anybody except maybe players that I just picked up from the waiver because I know that's where he will land when Lamelo and Rozier comes back. I mean, not necessarily land right away,
no,
but
you don't.
eventually
You
he might.
don't. I think you
might fall
don't
there.
do a one-on-one trade. You put him, add him in a package, add another
Yeah,
player there who's more valuable, who will be a long-term player for the other team. I mean, you have to find a win-win situation for both you and the other manager. So a one-on-one trade for DSJ probably would not work because you're gonna the the obvious thing that you want to do here is sell high, and in a very competitive league, everyone would know what you're trying to do. So add another player, put DSJ as the kicker, uh, and then the other team would get, don't make DSJ the centerpiece of your deal, right?
but if you want it just to be DSJ, low end players, let's say Ayo Dosunmu, because Ayo at least is a certain starter, I think. So
Yeah,
there's he's not dependent on anybody else, unlike DSJ. So that might be a trade down for you, but overall, the long term might be better. But those kinds of deals, I would have before Jalen Suggs exploded today. I would have traded DSJ for Jalen Suggs in a heartbeat. I haven't done that. Suggs steals the assist, the steals, especially without Cole Anthony.
no,
That
I think
would be
the role as well is safer at this point.
the role is safer in a way because Cole is still out for a while. Of course, if Markel Fultz comes back, you'll have a competition, but still better than what will happen to DSJ. Now, we don't know if Lamelo and Rozier will stay healthy for the rest of the season. Of course, we don't know that. We're just thinking that they will. No, that's what we're planning with.
Assuming
Uh,
they will,
Assuming
DSJ would
they
lose
will.
a ton of value, would most likely be off the bench. But there will be times that you might be streaming DSJ too. So yeah, but uh, yeah, that's the answer to your DSJ question. Here, I know this trade. It's a trade: Monk and Rozier for Barrett and Jalen Green.
Uh, Monk and Rozier. Just for Rozier alone, that's worth it. I know it's irritating, annoying. He's still out, but when he's healthy, even with Lamelo there, I think top 40 is doable. RJ Barrett, even in his dreams, can't reach top 100. He's gonna be 120 at his best already. Jalen Green struggling. I know he can reach top 100. That is if the steals rate go up. That is if the field goals go up, which we hope it does. Still, getting a top 40 guy is a win. So I'm gonna go with Rozier. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with Rozier.
Monk is just what no, just to sweeten the deal, I guess. But although Monk has played well over the past two games. All right, next, quality games. We'll just post it. So you just have to wait, but we'll post the schedule analyzer. It's still a bit early, maybe tomorrow or on Sunday. That's the time we usually talk about the schedule. So yeah, just wait for that. Drop na lang Arden. I wonder
No,
who
that
this is.
I can't drop Harden.
Harden for Levine. That's good for the one getting Harden, I guess.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, Lavine played a back to back, so that's fine. Um, that's tough. That's tough. Harden for Lavine. That's good for the one that owns Lavine and is gonna get Harden. That's good for him because
Yeah,
Lavine's probably a third round or fourth round pick, so he could wait for Harden. No, but I would probably not do it right now. Okay, I'll see first if I can survive without Harden before I do a trade like this because Lavine is very risky. You're trading a currently injured guy with someone who might be injured, so
was yeah, yeah,
you might be back to
yeah.
zero, and then
Actually,
you
I
went
think
down.
Levine is they're pretty much in the same boat, but maybe a month or two from now, that Levine might not be a good idea, right? Because Levine's healthy now, but we know he's having some problems with the knee. So a month or two from now, we don't know what's gonna happen, and by that time, Harden might be already playing, uh, although maybe not 100%, right? Shout out to AJ Velasco. That question, by the way, was KN Firma. Shout out to AJ. AJ, I think, is in Spain, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Rondell, Kyrie, and John Collins or Harden. Harden.
Kyrie and John Collins or Harden. Well, uh, these are tough questions because Kyrie should be back in 5 games. No, but as we said, we don't know if he's gonna stick for long. Kyrie or
If you're
John
willing
Collins
to
or
take the headache of Kyrie, because I don't think this is going to be the last of it. That's just me assuming. Um, I'd rather have Harden.
yeah, I think so too. I think I might stick with Harden. Again, headache for headache, but
But
for the
Kyrie probably is a bigger headache.
the earliest that Kyrie can come back is November 13. No, that's almost 10 days from now. So by that time, there's only 3 weeks, 2.5 to 3 weeks left in
Yeah,
Harden's timeline. So you're not really getting a full Kyrie experience if you do the deal. So I'll probably go with her. And that's not even a given. If I'm gonna do this deal, I'm gonna wait for after 5 games and Kyrie's playing, then let's do the deal. Not now. Right? I
yeah,
mean, why would
yeah,
I do it now? What's the point? To get John Collins for 4 games? I mean, that's not worth it. It's not
yeah.
worth it.
Timing. Find the
Yeah.
right time. William Chu asking Davion worth to keep in 12 team, 9 cat, and not open a streaming spot. This is going to be harder because Davion, it was easier before he played the game, the first game, but after the first game, you'll be thinking twice.
Well, we know his ceiling is very low, upside is very low. 12 team, I would rather stream the spot because I mean it's different if Fox is out for the season or out for 2 months. The way I see it, Fox is probably questionable already for tomorrow. That means the injury is not that serious. So playing the odds there, even if he doesn't play for 1 or 2 more games, still Davion's stats could be streamable stats. I mean streamer stats. So just stream, just stream the spot. Because it's like this: if you stream the spot, you get three games more than one Davion. Still gonna, if you add all those stats, will still be better than Davion's 1 game or 2 games, right? So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
add
It's a
two
12
games,
team. I
yeah,
mean, even if in a 14 team, I wouldn't
yes,
mind streaming him, streaming the spot, just because, I don't think Fox would be out a very long time. It's not like the Harden
yes,
situation, right? So,
yes,
but you might want to use him for tomorrow's game first and see what happens, and then go on from there, right? That's how I'll probably play it. And from Ryan Jason, buy low player for my Maxi. So you're selling high on
buy low.
Maxi, buy low. Who's a buy low player?
Let me see. For Maxi, hmm,
Who's a second
it would have
rounder who
been,
hasn't been playing like one?
well, if you can go second round high, then that's good. I mean, bam. I mean, if you can go that high, that high. Anthony Edwards. Anthony
Yeah.
Edwards. I think
But
that's
realistically, would anyone bite for that?
well, if Maxi continues to
Throw
have
in throw
27.
in a DSJ, for example.
No, no. Yeah, you can do Baxi DSJ for Anthony Edwards, something like that.
Yeah,
But
right.
Maxi, if he
I mean,
continues to play very well, somebody might bite. Somebody might bite.
wait for the first few games. I mean, you have a month, right? You're gonna have Maxi for probably a month. You might want to wait for the first few games of Maxi. That would boost value as well, better. But yeah, maybe Anthony Edwards. Although personally, I don't think it's an easy sell there. Um, but yeah, maybe throw
Mm,
in a player who's you're selling high.
I talked about Evan Mobley. If you're looking for not the same position, because it's like this: if you sell high on Maxi, sometimes the other manager would agree to it if they need the stats of Maxi. So if
Yeah,
they need they need a scorer
Scoring
who
threes.
now with assists, now with efficient shooting, 3 pointers and everything. So maybe they need that. So maybe you can't do a, let's say, as we said, Anthony Edwards for Maxi, because for the owner maybe it's the same thing. I have the same. They have almost the same stats, or shooting guards or whatever. So maybe if you look at at Evan Mobley, uh, that might be more feasible for the manager. Maybe he needs guards, you need bigs. So you can do something like Mobley. Mobley's struggling a little bit, right? This year. Slow start, not really struggling, slow start.
Yeah.
So Mobley.
All right. There. That's a player. Or depends as well what stat you need, right? What stat you need. You don't just
Yeah.
buy any player. Um, Here's the next one. Wait. All right. Would be a good player to pick
Would be good pick player to play against the
against the
Nets.
Nets or for the Nets with the Nets
No, I
who
think he's
play
saying,
against the Nets.
would it be good to pick a player who play against the Nets this week?
Ah,
I
all
think
right.
that's
This week
if you're talking DFS, it's good to
depends on
pick
which
players.
player.
No, if you're talking DFS, actually the Nets are one of the better teams to target against, because their
Yeah,
defense are low, they play fast. So yeah, it's always good to
yeah.
target a player who play against the Nets.
But yeah, but obviously depends on which player you pick, who that player is. All right, next. That was from Acon R Inc. Next, Rim Shaker. Um, would Harden or Kyrie owner take Butler?
Yes, the Kyrie
Would
owner will
Harden?
certainly take, but
They probably, yeah. I think
the Kyrie
Kyrie
owner,
owners has just had a traumatic experience, so I think they'll probably take a good name player, right? A player
yes, yes.
who just has name value there. Yeah, we'll get that. As long as it's not a very low ball offer, right? They'll probably, yeah, I think they will. But Harden, I don't think so. Butler
They
plus
will,
one maybe.
they might,
They
they might
might,
take
but
1 month. There are a lot of managers who are panicking with Harden's injury. That's a first rounder. So losing Harden, they would probably look at Butler as a first round material guy who just is injury prone. They will. I'm not saying they should, but they will. They would take Butler. I am assuming the owner owns Butler, and he wants to try to get either Harden or Kyrie. Maybe he's trying to offer Butler for either of the two. So I think they would. They would.
yeah. Um, Slim Slings Pack. Who can I trade for Paolo Banquero? These names on YouTube are just different. Uh, Hard to pronounce. Who can I trade for Paolo Banquero? A lot. Um, what value? What stat set do you need? Um,
Paulo
Rozier,
Banquero. That's too high. But if you can do Rozier, then good for you. As we talked about Paulo Banquero, as good as
Maxi.
he has played. Yeah, sure, sure. I'll take Maxi. Again, not as I'm not a big fan of the fantasy game of Paulo Banquero. And even if he's playing so well, he's still 102nd best player in fantasy this year in 9 cats. And we talked about the free throws, we talked about the inefficiencies in shooting, and also the lack of steals. I think so. Yeah, you can trade, but Paolo Banquero being a rookie, being someone who scored 20 points in his first 7 games, everything else, his name value is high, as JJT said. If you can get Melton, go. Melton, Maxi, go. Rozier, even better. So you can get a lot of player with Banquero if you're just aggressive
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. I think managers would bite. The name value is there. He doesn't have a history of what anything like players like Butler, Kyrie, right? So I think yeah, you could go
I like
find.
Sengun. If you can go Banquero for Sengun, I like that. I like
That's
that a
an
lot.
easier trade to pull off, though. You know
Sengun is
that's
not
easier
struggling,
than
huh?
maybe, yeah, but that's easier than say trying to get Rozier, right?
Yes, yes.
You
In
move
our
down the food chain, right? You start from the
but
top and then move down.
no, no. I think if you can get Sengun, you can try to do that. Big for big, but there's a center eligibility. The Sengun owner might still be sleeping and thinking that Sengun started slow, so could be a worry if goes back to the bench and everything. But right now he's top 60, even with so many problems at the
In
start of
this
the
game.
season where
Yeah,
he came off the bench. He was ill or something. He was out for 2 games or whatever. Top 60. So easy Sengun for Banquero.
all right. AJ has a question. SGA for Ant, a good trade since Ant is a buy low. I don't think this is a buy low.
It's not a buy low. It's not a
It's not
buy
a
low.
buy low. You're giving up SGA, so you want to aim a little higher. They might end up. I think SGA might end up, higher than Anthony Edwards with the way he's playing.
Not
Um,
mine. If you're talking per game, he will end up higher. I am
yeah.
sure of that. Yeah.
See, so this is not a buy low. Um, Aim higher if you want. If you want, and offer someone lower, I guess, or add the ant player, another
If
guy.
he has, if I think he has SGA, not mistaken.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he
If
has
he's trying to buy
SGA.
low on ant,
You can offer some. Yeah, JT is correct. You can maybe offer some other player for Ant, and then offer SGA for a higher rank
yeah.
and higher upside player. Yeah.
But if you're trying to get ant, yeah, you offer you you have SGA for ant and another player, right? If you're trying to get Anthony Edwards. That's the because like what JD said, SGA,
Yeah.
yeah, he's got everything. I mean, we're not,
Yes.
we always know that the tanking issues would be there, but like we said, last year they did not rest him towards the end of the season. They even played him, especially if your playoffs are earlier. Than the rest, it doesn't, you know, move. It doesn't end towards the end until the last day of the season. So he will still get value if they do that again this year. Uh, F FJD Lim. Trade ideas for Jimmy B. Everyone's trading Jimmy B.
When we were ahead of the curve. The day he was so good, I already said before trading SGA, trade Jimmy Butler first. Remember that episode? Remember
Yep,
that
yep.
we said people are so go gaga over SGA that she should be traded, but the guy that should really be traded is Jimmy Butler. And if you have any ideas, please send it to me also because I have a Jimmy Butler as well.
Everyone in a competitive league knows Jimmy Butler so well already. Um, that's also another reason why he dropped during drafts. I mean, per game he is as good as anyone out there, but just the availability has been bad every year as well. So I think he dropped to the 40, sometimes to the 50, close to the 50. So yeah, um, maybe trade a fourth round player or fifth round player.
No, it's like this. I have one Jimmy Butler, and I only picked Jimmy Butler there. It's a 16 team league, and he fell to 47, I think, and I picked
Yeah,
him.
I got the Jimmy Butlers I got were like at the 45th, 46th,
Yeah,
44th. I mean, those are the Jimmy Butler stocks. I mean, I just couldn't resist picking him. I know the history, but he fell to 40 plus, and I just feel like the upside is, second round maybe per game, and I just couldn't resist that. But
he,
yeah,
here's the deal. I want to trade him, but I don't. I'm not even trying now. He's injured right now, short term
yeah.
injury. So I'm not gonna try to trade him now. But when he comes back and he starts to play good games, there are a lot of names that you can try. Player like maybe Aiton, for instance.
Hmm.
Actually, with Aiton, you can maybe try it now before he comes back. You can start there. I'd like Aiton over Jimmy Butler, but I'm not sure if you can pull that off. If
Jarrett
maybe you're looking.
Allen.
Yeah,
Gobert. Do you like Jimmy Butler over Gobert?
I like Gobert over Jimmy Butler.
I
You
mean,
know, I picked him at 40 something because I feel like that's his value given all the injury history he has. So anybody above the 40s, I like over Jimmy Butler. I'm just
all right,
saying that maybe a player like Aiton who is borderline 40 top 40 guy, maybe that's an easier get.
easier sell,
But
easier sell.
easier sell. If you really want to sell, as in you're very desperate to sell, maybe somebody like Mikal Bridges, for instance. Um, yeah, I mean per game you lose a lot. You lose a lot, but if you if you think about it, Mikal's played 82 games for so many seasons. At least he's gonna be there when you need him. The steals
Yeah,
should be the same. Maybe the scoring would be
the scoring
a
has
big
been
drop.
better this year so far.
Yeah, yeah,
A little better this year.
better. The scoring is better, but still far off. No, from Jimmy Butler. But if you
Yeah,
add, if you maybe look at totals, the way with how many games Jimmy Butler will miss, maybe that won't be too far off anymore. The counting stats won't be too far off if Mikal plays 82 games, right?
yeah. Here's the next one. Who can I get for Embiid, Paul George? These are first rounders. You can get a lot. You can get them for each other, or maybe I don't know. Embiid still has value. I mean, this is what week 3, guys. I don't think Embiid has lost value already at this point.
Embiid, you can get anybody that's not named Jokic or Giannis, maybe.
Or
Still the two
Luca.
of them. I think. You can
Those three
get.
guys.
I think you can get Luca. I mean, he's not
Not
that.
now.
Uh, it's like
Not
this.
now. For Embiid,
Uh,
who's hurt.
well, he's not hurt. He's ill. That's
Oh yeah,
different.
yeah.
He's sick.
No, he
He's
sat
sick.
out as well. The few
No, that
games.
was a resting. That was a resting.
All right.
That was more rest. He's sick. So that yeah, given that maybe it's harder, but I still believe you can trade. Some people will trade Luca for Embiid, especially managers who are not that convinced about Luca sustaining this kind of shooting and the other stats. No, Luca's rank higher for now than Embiid, but you can
But
get all those players.
anyone who picked Luca does not believe that Luca can sustain this.
Me,
We've
I
always
have
had this idea that the managers who pick Luca are fanboys of Luca.
no. That's not true. That's not true. Not true anymore. I
Not true
know a lot of
anymore. All
managers
right.
who are not fans of Luca but picked him this year because of the hard, uncertain players in that range. Maybe this question is who can I get for Embiid and Paul George? No, that's possible. It's like it may be a
Right,
combo.
Luca and another guy.
Yeah, Embiid, Paul George, maybe Tatum something also is possible.
If you have Luca, if you have Embiid, you wouldn't settle for just anyone. You wouldn't settle for probably a Lamelo. You wouldn't settle for maybe a Halliburton if you want. I don't know. I know Komish loves
No,
Halliburton, but for me, I wouldn't settle for that.
yeah,
You wouldn't settle for anyone there below the top 5. If you want, maybe KD.
yeah, yeah. Maybe he's afraid that Embiid will get injured, so
Yeah,
that's
like
why he
all
wants.
pretty much all Embiid owners are always afraid of, right?
But the first rounders this year, outside of maybe Luka, Yanis, Jokic, maybe, are they're and Tatum. They're the safer ones, no, this year. The others, I think, like Harden got injured already. Lamelo got injured.
Yeah.
Lillard got injured. Then Tyrese Halliburton has the tanking worries also. Even if people say Indiana doesn't tank, that's not the way they do things. I don't. I'll believe it when I really see them not tank. I still think that when time comes and they need to tank, they will tank. So there's still that problem. So if that is your worry, then you're left with Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, Luka as probably the safer
Steph,
guys there. Steph, although Steph will have some rest here or there, but yeah, Steph is also okay.
yeah, but
There.
again, you wouldn't settle for those players. I mean, you wouldn't settle for the other guys like Lillard. For
No.
Embiid, no, you wouldn't. Uh, you know, so don't get anyone without those top guys at least, right? Or you if you're in a deep league, maybe get a really good haul of players, right? One of those
Yeah,
guys we mentioned, Lillard, plus a bunch of other guys uh, that you can get. So Keegan Murray over Maturin, trade fair. I don't think it's fair now. Maturin is somehow slowed down a
that's
bit.
fair. I think it's fair. Rank
It's
wise,
fair.
it's
It's
close.
fair.
It's fair.
It's fair.
I would
It's
I,
not.
I would
It's
still
not vetoable, I guess.
no, it's not vetoable. And I although I would take Keegan over Maturin, it's not vetoable and it's fair. Especially it's an opposite. We everybody thinks Keegan is this good, but he hasn't performed as good. Everybody thinks Maturin is all points and this and that, but he has been playing so well. So you balance both out. It's a fair trade. It's a fair trade.
Yeah, it's a fair trade. But I also like Keegan over Maturin. Um, Jabari gives me Channing Frye
Ah,
vibes.
hopefully not.
Hopefully not, because
Hopefully not.
Jabari has defense. He should have defense. He's athletic enough to have defense. Channing
Well,
Frye is not as athletic as Jabari.
Channing Frye is a better shooter than Jabari. If he can just shoot as good as Channing Frye, we
Yeah,
probably we probably won't be worrying as much about him. Jabari, he hasn't been shooting well from the summer league. The start from the summer league till now, he's not
he's
been
just had
shooting
a
well.
couple of good games. I think only one. I think
Yeah.
this one from, I don't know, Sabonis or Westbrook and Simmons.
No, Sabonis. Don't trade Sabonis for Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons. That's
Ben Simmons has been floated around for trades already by the Nets, and
and
it could
come on, Simmons and Westbrook. It's just like you want to,
maybe you're
you know,
punting free throws or field goal or whatever. You punt whatever
Sabonis
these
is a
two
punt free
guys.
throw. Sabonis is a punt free throw center. No, so he's a punt free throw center. He's struggling. Yeah, he's another player who's struggling. But no way in hell I'm gonna get and trade him for these two players. No, no, that's not
I
gonna
guess
happen.
the general rule for us is these are not even players who have been performing very well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Westbrook and Simmons. So no, no, don't do that. If you're Jaden McDaniels or Dort,
Hmm.
this was a closer, harder to make. I mean, Jaden, as good as he was early on, is a very inconsistent player for the Wolves. This is the Wolves McDaniels, right?
Yeah, that's the Wolves. That's the Wolves McDaniels. I would still choose the Wolves McDaniels over Dort. Yeah, I know the points way lower, but um the percentages might be the same, but Jaden doesn't take as much to hurt you as much. He doesn't take as much field goal attempts that will hurt you. And Jaden's 3 point steals still elite, especially the steals. Lou Dort has this reputation of being a defensive player, but he doesn't steal a lot. No, the 0.91, that's probably his average. So the only thing that Dort has on McDaniels is the points. It's averaging 17 or 18 right now, and that could stick because OKC. But other than that, it's all McDaniels.
All right. Isaiah James, trade ideas for the Aaron Fox.
These are all injured guys, by the way.
I don't think it's
So
a good time to trade the Aaron Fox at this point because you're not gonna get really good value because he is injured. I
he
know.
is injured. He is injured.
So the
But if they
players you can get would not be as good as the players you would get if you wait it out for a bit and then trade him.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants ideas to trade Fox right now, so that would mean selling low on Fox because Fox is injured. But if that is the case, selling low,
What's the
it's
timetable for Fox? Has there been a timetable?
no. And
A week? 2 weeks?
he's actually I think
or he's day to day.
questionable. I think he's questionable already or something. So might not be out too long. Might not be out too long.
If he's healthy, who's a good player to target?
Uh, if he's healthy and been playing the way he was playing, I still like Drew Holiday over him. I like Drew. I like him easily over him. Again, the guys like
The
Aiton,
centers,
yeah, the guys like
Aiton's,
Aiton. I would even
Jarrett Allen,
maybe Sabonis has been really awful, but I would still pick Sabonis over Fox. I think Sabonis will get it. Will get it going eventually. So I still like him over Fox. So
Bam,
those
maybe.
Bam, if you can, yeah, sure. Bam has stepped it up a little bit in the end. Bam Adebayo, Scotty Barnes is one when they were healthy. A Fox for Barnes trade would be very very equal, very very fair. But any time of the day, give me Scotty Barnes. Give me Scotty Barnes any time of the day.
Yeah. We answered the Jimmy bid. We answered this already. 18 team league. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, you might. There are ways to get it. Get to trade him. 18 team. Just maybe ask for two players for Jimmy Butler. But like we said, not the right time. Uh, just hope. Just wait for him to come back. Caruso is a streamer. We talked about this in one of our quickies. He has ended up being a steal specialist, and not even now. I mean, now I don't think the steals are there as
the
good.
steals are
With
there, but not consistent. The steals are
yeah,
there. We've been asked this if Caruso is droppable, and we did say he is droppable. And
yeah.
then there was a time when I think Ayo was out and Levine was out. He had three steals, two blocks, if I remember. That was good, but on average, he's borderline maybe 14 team guy.
All right, this is quite interesting. There've been a lots of Paulo Banquero questions. Everyone's trying to trade Paulo Banquero. Um, yeah, we talked about it a while ago. So yeah, just rewind back when the live session ends. Someone offered Poole and Wendell Carter Jr. for my Davis. Anthony Davis?
Yes, that's Anthony Davis. Yes, that's Anthony
So no.
Davis.
Yeah,
No, no,
no,
I won't take that.
no.
I won't take that deal. For one, we're not even sure if Jordan Poole can become Jordan Poole of old because there's Clay Thompson. Um, for all we know, Jordan Poole will probably be lucky to be in a top 90, top 100 player. Wendell is good, but nowhere near Anthony Davis good, even if he's a headache.
Just to give you an idea, the value of Anthony Davis, there was a trade that pushed through in one of our leagues, and it centered around Anthony Davis and Gobert. So that's how high you're gonna be trying to aim for when you try to get Anthony Davis, not Wendell Carter Jr. as your best player, because that's what fifth round, sixth round, seventh
Yeah,
round, even right, seventh
go
round
go
player.
go, Carl Anthony Towns. I'll do that.
Yeah, there. But that's harder to pull off
Yeah, yeah,
because that's a tier higher. But yeah, look for someone there within that range because Anthony Davis is still playing, although he's a bit injured, banged up, but he's still playing. If you want to, just sell him for a lower value player, maybe get someone from the third round level, not this low, not this low. Sure. McCollum, Randall, and Dinwiddie for DeRozan and Zion. 16 team, 10-man league. McCollum,
yeah.
Randall, Dinwiddie. DeRozan, Zion. I think I like the DeRozan, Zion. But this is fair. I mean, close.
Yeah, that's fair. McCollum, Randall, Dinwiddie, DeRozan, Zion. This DeRozan, Zion. Yeah, DeRozan, Zion.
DeRozan, Zion. This is pretty much like, I know Dinwiddie's been rosterable anyways, but this is like DeRozan, Zion for McCollum and Randall. That's how I see this trade. Kawhi update. We don't know. He's not playing. He's not playing.
Kawhi, Kawhi, Kawhi. Kawhi's out for a couple of games more, right? But the
Yeah,
stiffness hasn't gone away. So that's the worry. I think Kawhi, if they force him, he could play, but they just don't want to. They just don't want to try it, and then something bad happens. It's still early in the season. I still believe he can come back. I hope I'm correct. I hope I'm correct that by week 5, maybe week 4, end of week 4, maybe, or within week 4, week 5, he can play already. But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna play back to backs, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna manage him to death this season.
yeah. BNG, come on. Lowry for Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith Lowry. I'll go Lowry, but that's a good deal also.
Yeah, Lowry. I like Lowry as well. FJD Lim open stream spot and he stream Bruce Brown. Does would he should he keep Bruce Brown or continue streaming the spot?
Um, Brown a keeper. I don't think Brown's a keeper, but he's pretty close to that. He's really good fantasy wise. But
Is
if
this
they're
an
healthy,
18 team league? If this is an 18 team league, I'd keep because you asked about the 18 team league a while ago. So if this is an
if
18
this is
team
an
league, I'll keep
if this is an
Brown.
18 team, yeah, if this is an 18 team league, I find it hard for you to find a streamer as good as Bruce Brown though. So I'll probably hold on to Brown. It's really hard to find streamers in 18 team league that would matter. That would not give you 4 points or something.
Yeah,
It's too
yeah.
deep already. I'll probably hold on to Bruce Brown.
Eh, yeah, and it's surprising that he's still available in an 18 team league. So I'm in a
Well,
16 team league and he's not there anymore. So you got lucky. Any thoughts on Westbrook? Well, no. We haven't been thinking about Westbrook.
no, no, no. Actually, I,
Okay.
I I did mention that if he behaves in a six-man role, he's gonna be okay. Not really really good like before, but serviceable. Someone who has value already. If he continues to be in a six-man role, which he is in right now for 2 games already, it's been good. I think that's where he can contribute to your fantasy teams. Will he continue to be a good soldier and be a sixth man? Well,
We don't know.
I
We don't
I
know.
I
We don't know. I think
maybe Darvin
I
Ham
as a
no, maybe Darvin Ham did succeed in telling him that he wants him to be the sixth man of the year. I mean,
yeah,
that's an award that he can go and try to get, right?
that alone, Darvin Ham being able to put Westbrook in the 6 man role for a game is a big deal. Right? Not just a game. I think he's been off the bench for 2 games now. So I think that's a big deal already. So if you can keep him there, then uh, that's good. Best case scenario for DSJ, well, we answered that. He
No,
might just be a streamer.
yeah, but best case though, he can be a Caruso. What Caruso is doing right now. The bench Caruso, where
Yeah,
there are games where be games he will give you 2 steals, 1 block, 3 steals, 1 block. But the points, then the other stats, it will not be there if he gets 16, 17 minutes a game. It might be tough.
yeah.
Might
All
be tough.
right. The Bruce Brown question was a 12 team. Yeah, you
Yeah, you
can
stream
do a
it.
streamer
Yeah, you can
streaming.
stream it. You can stream
All right. This is from our friend Chris Chua. Sell Melton High, not to us, not to us. Right? You might be
It's like
selling them.
this. It's like this. Melton is always better in your imagination than in real life, even without Harden. So if you wanted to sell Melton high, you have to sell him before he plays the first game without Harden.
Yeah,
Because after
yeah,
he plays the first
yeah.
game without Harden, he gets you 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. That's good. That's okay. But how will you sell
But
that? How high will you sell that? I don't know. I don't know. And it takes a certain kind of manager who really loves Melton. There
are
are
you
there
are
are
you that
managers.
one? Are you
Yes, I
that
am. But
manager?
everybody
I
knows I love
see.
Melton. But don't sell him
Sell,
to me. I have too
sell,
many Meltons
sell
already.
to no, we're laughing because Chris Schuer is part of our we're in the same in 2 leagues. We have 2 leagues we're we're together. So yeah, not to us, not to us. If Poco maintains the minutes, is he worth a hold? No, Poco is not a hold. It's hard to see Poco maintain the minutes because the
But
OKC rotation is just crazy.
if he holds the minutes, yes, he is a hold.
Yes,
If
yes,
he
he is.
maintains the minutes, he is a hold.
Yeah,
Again, Jalen Williams started the other day, now 14 minutes. Now Poco is starting, and then Baisley's 13 minutes, and then JRE starting. Sometimes Muscala gets minutes. It's all over the place. It's all over the
yeah,
place, OKC.
that's the challenge. All right. Good evening. Who to keep if streaming spot? If need us, who to keep? Caleb or DFS?
You answer that. There's DFS question. No, I'll keep DFS. I'll keep DFS. I'll
Yeah,
keep Dorian
me too.
Finney-Smith.
I'll keep DFS. I think Caleb is really more of a streamer
Yeah.
type of player. Us. All right, this one. Cat Murray to Banquero Butler Sabonis. Whose Murray is this? Is it Keegan?
The- That if that's the
There's
Jonte, I will
no,
veto this trade. I will veto.
no, no.
I,
If that's Dejounte, no. If it's Keegan,
no,
no,
no, no.
no. Banquero Butler Sabonis for Cat and Keegan.
I would say Keegan and Banquero. I would say Keegan's better. So it's like Cat for Butler Sabonis. Even if Cat is not the Cat of old, still better than both of those players. And Butler is too much of a headache. So I'd rather have
Yeah,
Cat
all
Murray.
right. A few more questions. There are a lot. Sorry, guys. Few more questions. Zach Levine trade. Any Zach Levine trade ideas?
Right now, you can trade him for Fox. If you're really that
Mhm.
desperate, you can trade him for Fox. We talked about Jarrett Allen when we talked about this in our quickie. Actually, you can even try Sabonis since we had a lot of Sabonis questions. Sabonis has been really bad. Even he had one good game the last game without Fox, but you can tell managers, well, Fox will come back, so maybe you want to trade Sabonis now. Levine played back to back, so that's your sales pitch. I think Levine for
Yeah.
Sabonis is also okay.
One player to sit. Achua, Payne,
Payne,
Londale, Korean Prince.
I think
Payne. All
Payne is
right. That.
questionable, right? I think Cameron Payne is
Uh.
questionable for tomorrow.
All right. So you sit Payne. Devin Booker, Zubac for SGA.
Mm. You're getting Devin Booker Zubac? Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. That's
So
solid.
you're on the Booker Zubac side, right?
I'm okay. The depth of like Devin Booker probably top 25, Zubac top 75 or 80 this year. That's okay, especially if you think SGA the chances SGA will rest. Booker and Zubac, this is the combo that I would like. The lesser risk players because you're
Yeah.
trading SGA away because you're worried. So you should not be getting a player or players back that you will worry again. These two are low maintenance, low worry players. So I like the move.
All right. There's a big question about 4TT. No, it's not that we prefer. It's just the right amount. Uh, there are a lot of managers who wants to join the league, so 12 might be too few, and we can't handle so many leagues, right? And 16 might be too much. So we just want managers to be able to play around in the waivers. That's why we also cut our uh, roster size to just 12 instead of 13, so that there will be players to add on the waivers. We don't put too much IL, so managers can really manage teams.
It's actually just to squeeze in more of you
Yeah,
guys
squeeze
to
in
our
more
leagues,
more
more
players.
more players. Yeah.
And we don't want 16 because I we felt that it was too much, that you won't be able to uh, stream as much and so on. So yeah, just our standard. That's how we treat the standard. Jabari Smith, we talked about that. We'll just run through a bunch of these. If Nesmith is healthy, should I grab him 20 team? Yeah, I mean it's
I'll
20
drop
team. This is 20.
yeah 20 team. I'll probably drop Payne. Yeah, Nesmith. Neesmith is okay in 20 team. Probably
All
the
right. How
either
about
Payne or Landale. Either Payne or Landale.
Giddy for Keldon Johnson?
I'll go Keldon. Yes, I'll go
Right.
Keldon.
Uh, Oubre and Adams for Basel. Is it fair?
Hmm. Oubre or Adams for Vassell. Yeah, it's
No,
fair.
Oubre and Adams.
Oubre and Adams for Vassell. Fair enough. Oubre's been playing well. Adams been playing well. It's actually sell high on those two. So
Yeah.
you can't veto this, but you know what the manager is doing. He's trying to sell on these two because Oubre right now is playing well. You can't veto some this trade because Oubre is actually really hot, and Adams is a quiet performer this year, like last
Yeah.
year. And but we know that Adams will fade. That's the Steven Adams signature. He
Yeah.
fades. He fades later the season, but you can't veto a trade based on that because you veto it based on their performance right now. So yeah,
Yeah. And if you veto this, you know that that means your league won't allow any sell high moves, which is
yeah, yeah.
what trading is for, right? So what happens to Evan Mobley? Playing like, yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm
he's
not worried. I did tell JJT's free throws have improved this year actually, so that's good. The rebounds are not there. That's the big difference. Of course, the points will get hurt with Spida, Donovan Mitchell entering the fray, but eventually he'll figure it out. He'll adjust. He's a young player, so as I said, he's a buy low player. He's a buy low guy.
um wait, a few more. There's a lot, but I really love to go through them, but my kid is looking for me. All right, Levine, Nurkic, and D'Lo for Bane, Brolo. Levine, Nurkic, and D'Lo for Bane and Brolo.
Um, I love Bane, but in 18 team, it's really tough to give up so many solid players. I
Yeah.
know Bane is top 30 material. Levine is probably top 40, so he's probably a tier down. But you're giving up Nurkic and D'Lo. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough in 18 team leagues. Maybe in shallower leagues, okay, but depth is important in that kind of uh that kind. Oh, it's Roto. Okay.
It's Roto. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, in Roto maybe. In Roto maybe. In Roto, I mean the trees, blocks, and efficiency of Bane is worth a lot in Roto. So yeah, Roto yes, Roto
All
yes.
right. JD said don't trade Vassell. Spurs have 5 games on week 5. So JD is a couple of weeks ahead. That's nice. We like that. Uh, is it fair? Yeah, we talked about that. Uh, Jokic and Jalen McDaniels or CP3 DeJounte? Mm.
Jokic, Jokic,
Jokic plus
Jokic,
Jalen?
or CP3 or DeJounte, right? It's
Yeah,
Jokic plus
CP
Jalen.
and DeJounte.
Yes, that's the two side. Are you
Yeah,
picking CP3 and DeJounte there?
maybe. Maybe. Jokic has
Um,
been good. He's been okay, but you know, and
I'll go
I'm
Jokic.
worried. Like I said, I'm worried about Jokic.
Yeah,
But I get it. I get what you're saying. This is Jokic, and the same thing we said about Embiid. You don't just give away Jokic without getting the other big guys like the
yes.
Giannis, the
That's
Embiids.
It's a good deal. It's a good offer. I would say
It's
it's
a
a
good
good offer.
offer.
But
It's a fair enough one because the Jalen McDaniels thing is you know probably a sell high type of offer, right?
yeah, but I'll still keep Jokic. I won't give up Jokic for
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 any
for a
of the big
second
guys.
rounder and a
Yeah,
borderline third. Not
yeah.
enough. I'll rather have a first rounder back, as you said.
Uh, Chris
Hold, hold.
Shua, very active. Trey Jones, frustrating so far. Hold.
For my sake, you can drop. I'll pick him up because I lost
You
I lost Harden.
personally.
I
Um,
lost Harden. but
all
but
right,
keep
this was a
yeah,
good
keep
one.
it.
Ron Araneta, three general advice in trading.
Three
Win-win
general
situation,
advice.
guys. Win-win situation.
Number one,
That's
don't
one.
just
You have to. All right, go.
yeah, go ahead.
No,
Don't
I just say the win-win situation is important. That's sometimes overlooked by one manager because he wants to win alone. But you have to give that person a reason for him, a win situation wherein he'll really trade the players, right? You don't just, because sometimes our tendency when we try to trade is that we think of ourselves and not think of the other guy. So we have to find reasons why the other guy should accept our offer. So that's one. Go, Komish. Give another one.
no, I won't float offers just based on this rank and this rank. Like this round and this round, they're almost same. Okay, I'll just try to offer. As JJT said, the win-win thing. Look at the standings. Look at where they're losing, or you study the other team's team roster, and then that's where you can decide on which deal will help him, and that's where which players can help him, and then that's when you offer, because when you do that, you can talk to the manager and then explain. This is from Max, by the way, from our friend Max Visaya. That's what he does very well. With anybody, when he wants one of your players, he won't go offering it. He'll offer it and then he'll message you. That's one advice. Don't just offer it and then not talk to the manager. You offer it and then you PM the manager, and when you PM the manager, you give the reasons already, because sometimes some managers, they don't know what's wrong with their team. But if you know what's wrong with their team and you tell them what's wrong with their team, then they will make, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's why I'm losing this and losing that and everything. And then that uh that changes their mind sometimes. That makes a decision for them.
Yeah, give them a reason on why they should get the guy you're offering them, because obviously you're offering them because you don't need them, you don't like them. So you tell them as well why you don't like them, or maybe because tell them, I don't need this player because I'm punting this, or I don't need this player because the stat set does not help my team and whatnot. So yeah, yeah, I think. And also, if you can get to know that other person, favorite players, that's sometimes that helps, right? If
Yeah.
you Who's the favorite player of this guy, favorite team, right? That helps as well. So that's why it's hard to get any trades passed on public leagues, because people don't know each other. They just offer trades just because they want to win, right? Trade ideas for Beal. Need center. Beal. Need center. Lots of centers there. Gobert
No,
playing
no,
bad.
Gobert might be high. I would like Gobert, but maybe
Kristaps,
Jarrett.
but too high. Might be too
Aiton
high.
and Jarrett. Aiton and Jarrett are the close one. Kristaps I want. Kristaps I like, but Kristaps is so hot right now. I don't think the manager will agree to that.
So hot in the fantasy sense,
Yeah,
in the fantasy basketball sense. That's what Komish is referring to.
yeah.
Um, all right. Worried about underachieving T Wolves. We talk about this on our quickies, so just listen to that. Trade ideas for Brook Lopez. This is sell high situation. Just a couple more, then we're done for the night.
Brolo, I see Wendell Carter as possibly someone you can target for Brolo. That's like rebounds for threes blocks kind of situation. I feel like he's a solid guy. Who else? For centers, I think that's the best. I won't want the Capelas there. I think Nurkic, if you can swing that deal, that's also okay. But Vasel's been out for a while. I think if you want a wing, a scorer, I think Vassell is okay. And for point guards, I would probably try Kevin Porter Jr. for
Mm,
Brolo. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, Ball from waiver shall trade him before Magic are fully healthy. 16 team. Well, if you can, sell high on Ball. But like we said, you
Always okay.
can just
always try to sell high. I mean,
Yeah. Or you can ride it out since you just got him from waivers. Like you
but
said, he
and
cannot
another
be.
thing, the Magic will never be fully healthy.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's not
Who
gonna
who are
happen.
you talking about? Who are you talking about? Who's gonna play? Who? Jonathan
Isaac,
Isaac?
Isaac Ross, Cole Anthony, Markel Fultz. When these guys
I
come
mean,
back, there will be new injured players.
yeah. Um, and um, last two, 16 waiver, number 16 waiver in an 18
Yes,
team.
yes,
Yes,
for
16. Yeah,
Aldama.
that's
Number
no
16,
that's no brain.
yes, yes.
It's no brainer. You probably
Nick
won't win,
Richard.
but yeah. Nick Richard is in the waiver. Do you think were to be picked up? No.
No,
I think the
he's a
Nick
streamer.
Richards window is has passed.
He can still
Stream
have good games
Mason.
here and there.
Stream Mason. Probably. While he's hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's the
and
better option.
Nick Richards is a streamer. He's more of a streamer.
Yeah. All right. That's it, guys, for today's Q&A. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this helped. We'll do one more in the next few weeks, maybe next couple of weeks. And tomorrow we'll get back to our regular quickie. That's it. Peace, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.